Go outside tonight after the sun is down and look up. You will see a few dozen stars, maybe a few hundred if you're far from a city. Most of them will be dim. You will recognize a few patterns. You will know, without thinking about it, that what you're looking at is a sky full of distant suns, light traveling for years to reach your eyes. A vast and mostly empty universe held together by gravity. This is not what your ancestors saw. If you could be transported to almost any night in the 200,000 years of human existence before the invention of the electric light, the sky above you would not be a calm, dim ceiling. It would be a roof on fire, 3,000 stars at once. The Milky Way thrown across the sky like a river of smoke. Planets bright enough to cast a shadow on the ground. Meteors falling every night, all night, somewhere in your view. And it would be alive. It would move. Different stars would rise in different seasons. Some would wander while the others stayed fixed. The moon would change shape on a schedule you knew by heart. Eclipses would terrify you. Comets would appear without warning and stay for weeks. The sky was the single most dramatic, beautiful, frightening thing in your life, and you saw it every night, and you had no idea what any of it was. We have spent 400 years getting better and better at seeing the sky, and we have, somewhere along the way, completely lost the ability to actually look at it. But the ancient sky was not empty. It was not a screensaver. It was the most important question that ever existed, asked every night by everyone with no possible way to answer. So they answered anyway. To the ancient Egyptians, the night sky was the body of a goddess named Nut, arched across the world. Her skin was the dark. The stars were the lights she carried. The sun was swallowed by her each evening and birthed again at dawn. To the ancient Greeks, the stars were eternal points of fire fixed on a great crystal sphere that rotated around the earth. Aristotle taught this for 2,000 years, and almost no one questioned it because there was no reason to. To many cultures across what is now the Americas, the stars were the campfires of the dead. Each one was a person who had lived, now sitting in the sky around a fire of their own, looking back down. In ancient China, the stars were celestial officials, an enormous heavenly bureaucracy mirroring the earthly one. Specific stars represented specific roles. The emperor's star was Polaris. When stars changed, governments fell. To countless others, scattered across continents and millennia, the stars were holes in a dark cloth, covering a brighter world. They were the eyes of watching ancestors. They were sparks thrown up by a great fire on the other side of the sky. They were the souls of children not yet born. It is easy to look at these and feel superior, to think these were the answers of people who didn't know any better. But here is what is true. Every single one of those answers was the correct answer to the question they were actually solving. The question was not what is a star in modern physics. The question was what could possibly explain this thing, given everything we have ever seen and touched and known. And from inside the world the ancients lived in, the answer that a star was a distant burning sun, 90 trillion miles away, was the most absurd answer imaginable. They had never seen anything far away that was also small. In their world, small things were close and big things were far. A bird in the distance was tiny because it was far. A bird up close was big. The sun was big. The stars were tiny. Therefore, the stars must be small, and the small things must be near. There was no instrument, no idea, no piece of evidence that allowed them to imagine a thing both vast and almost unreachably far at the same time. The tool that finally cracked it was not better eyes, or better sky, or better thinking. It was a piece of curved glass. In 1609, an Italian named Galileo Galilei pointed a homemade telescope at the night sky. He saw mountains on the moon, moons around Jupiter, and when he aimed it at the Milky Way, he saw what no human had ever seen before. The river of light wasn't a river at all. It was made of more stars, thousands of them, then thousands more behind those. The sky, which everyone had thought was a ceiling, opened up. It kept going. It did not stop. And in that moment, almost every answer humans had ever given for what stars were became wrong at the same time. The fires of the dead, the lights of Nut, the crystal sphere, the campfires, the holes in the cloth, the eyes, all of it. In an instant, 10,000 years of human storytelling about the night sky stopped being a description of reality and became a record of how reasonable people answer impossible questions. We tell ourselves we live on the other side of that. We tell ourselves we have the answers now. The stars are distant suns. Most of them have planets. Some of those planets may have life. The universe is 14 billion years old. We know what we are looking at. We don't. We can see about 5% of the universe. The other 95% is something we have named without understanding. We call it dark matter and dark energy. The names sound scientific. They are not. They are placeholders, the same way holes in the sky was a placeholder. The same way campfires of the dead was a placeholder. They are what we say while we wait for the next person with the next piece of curved glass. The truth is, every human being who has ever looked up at the night sky has been looking at a mystery they were not equipped to solve. The ancients knew this. They told themselves stories about it. We have better instruments now and better numbers, and we have given the mystery a more respectable name. But step outside tonight, look up. Find a single point of light. You still don't know what most of what you're seeing is. The only difference between you and the person standing on a dark beach 4,000 years ago is that they were honest about it.